need no ride. Thank y'all. They tried to pick me up. I'm back with another video today, and this video was very random. I seen the person who the story time is about on my, I'm stepping on my remote. I seen him on my explore page on Instagram, and I was like, I remember that. So welcome back to my channel. I'm back with a story time. I'm back with a story time about how he tried to get me to help him set them up. They tried to pick me up. Like, I don't need no ride. No. Let's get into the story because, you know, I'm back with another video. It's lit. I wasn't going to give y'all another video for another 2 days because I was like, oh, child. And my other video fell through because the equipment that I got for it dead ass does not work. So I got to film this for y'all because I don't want to leave y'all hanging, you know? Thank him for popping up on my explore page with that ugly ass, glitzy ass picture. Because if he didn't, I wouldn't be able to tell y'all this story today. Say thank you. Comment below. Thank you. Let's get into the story. This story really is just so out of pocket because if I would have stayed in a child's place, this would have never happened to me. But, you know, I don't like to do that. I like to be grown. So here we go, dealing with the consequences. I'm not going to say the grades, and I'm going to not really tell the ages. And if I do, let's come up with an age just so that it throws people off, like if they try to figure out who I'm talking about. Like, you know, if these stories really do get out there, I don't need people backtracking because I'm not with the drama no more, girl.
I call cops. I don't fight no more, you know?
So let's just, let's come up with a time. So let's just say that I was in 10th grade. So in 10th grade, I had class with some boy, and when I got the class, I was really fine with my people who I was with. I would have preferred to be with my friends, but, you know, I never really got to be with my friends because for some reason, they was always like 10 times higher ranking in classes than me. And I don't know if it was because I was stupid or because I'm not dumb, but like maybe I acted dumb to the point where they put me in there, or if like my school system really just didn't give a fuck about me, which I think that was the one. But I was never really in class with my friends before, or like in the same classes as them. So I had to like make friends within that class. When I got into my class, I like met this boy, and like he was hella cool. Like we were just friends, and as we became friends and as the friendship like got longer and we started like being closer friends, I find out that his girlfriend, he has a girlfriend, that his girlfriend is cousins with someone who I had fought in the past. So I was like, okay. So, you know, the devil advocate in me said,
take her man.
Don't take her man.
Take her man.
Don't take her man. Take her man. Because, you know, I was just like,
snatch you, bitch. Give me him.
But I mean, I never did it because, you know, I'm not a homewrecker. And honestly, I mean, I don't even know if they was that strong in a friend relationship in the first place. But like, regardless of the matter, me and him never really like, or nothing, like we never really talked. But I could say that we were very close, I guess. Yeah, we can say that. So me and him was talking, and, you know, of course, like he always was in the mix. Like he always had a problem with somebody. So this specific person, there was another boy in my class. Him and that boy had problems because they were in two different gangs. First, they started off in the same gang, and then I guess they had to separate ways because one boy left that gang and went to somewhere else. So through that, my friend, let's name him Ben. Ben was very upset with that, and he was mad at the other boy. Let's name him Jay. Ben was mad at Jay, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna fight him because Jay was definitely a bully. Like, Jay had stolen people's phones. Jay was like literally a thief. He was a fucking thief. So Ben definitely was like, yeah, I don't like him because, you know, I guess they were friends in the past, and now that I guess Ben realized what type of person Jay really was, he was tired of it. He was tired of Jay being a bully, and I guess he just wanted to like be the bigger person. I mean, he wasn't. I mean, he was very much down here, and then the other person was all the way up here. Like, Jay was up here, height-wise, and then Ben was literally down here. But, I mean, kudos to them. So, one day, after school, me and him was talking, and he's telling me how he's going to fight Jay. Ben is telling me how he's going to fight Jay after school. So, I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I'm like, I wonder who's going to win because, again, like I said, Ben down here and Jay is literally like 6 feet, and then Ben was literally like my height, which was like 5'5" at the time. So, I'm like, I'm going to see who win. But, you know, some guys be having a hand, so, you know, they be like, you know, he might have hit you know, 1, 2, 3. So shit, I mean, I was just minding my business. I was ready for the fight. So after school, you know, I put my friends and I'm like, so my friends was like, okay. So after school, me and my friends was like, let's follow them. So after class, you know, I'm like, all right, I'll see you. Like, I'll catch you later, you know, real one. The whole time I'm telling my friends, I'm like, so my friends were like, okay. So we was looking for Ben. We were like, oh, let's see where he at, because you know where he at, that's where the fight gonna happen. You know, if he supposed to fight somebody, that's where the fight gonna happen. So me and my friends is like kind of following, looking around for him, and we find him. And we find him on this corner of the school. So everybody walks out of the school and everybody walks into the same block that everybody fight at. I mean, everybody fights at this block. So everybody is walking out, and this is where we run into another group of guys. So we went into a group of guys, and I had a crush on one of the guys. We're gonna name him C. We're gonna name him C. So I run into the group of guys. Me and my friends went into the group of guys who we were kind of close with, and some of my friends talked to some of the guys in that group, and I like C, but C didn't like me back. And I mean, I kept trying to get his attention, like, hey, Stink, but Stink wasn't catching my drift. So we end up losing in the process because we start talking to these guys. We laughing, we cool, and we talking to the group of guys, and I'm trying to get C's attention. I'm like,
Hey, you know, hey.
but he was not catching my drift. So as we're talking to them, all we hear is Jay and Ben fighting. So we like turn around because they didn't start hitting each other yet. But you know the whole
Weave, bop, bop, bop. So
we just wait for them to get the hitting each other. They start fighting, and I mean, Ben is doing his thing. Like, he is winning, I guess. Then Jay starts winning. Then Ben start winning again. Then Jay start winning. Then Ben start winning again. And then, like, it was just a whole cycle of them going back and forth. And then this is where their gangs get involved. So I guess their group of friends on each side, even though they had the same friends, some of those friends picked the side. So within that whole little gang or group of friends they had, they picked their sides. They knew who they wanted to fight, and they knew which side they was picking. So through that, it started with 2 boys. It easily went to like 5. 5 people start fighting. Bitch, everybody fighting. Everybody hitting each other. So then I see Ben hit the floor, and Ben hits the floor, and he falls into a pole. So the pole smacks the shit out the back of his head. And I was like, oh my God, like, bitch, I cannot do this. So Ben is like, I'm watching him on the floor like, oh my God. And I'm like kind of scared. And I look away because, you know, that's my friend. So like, I don't really want to see him getting beat up because he starts losing, and he literally is getting beat up now. Like, he's getting jumped by like a whole bunch of people. So I look away because I'm like, oh my God. And I literally am trying to find my friends. I'm trying to find my best friend, Shadi. I'm like, because, you know, like, it's so much commotion. It's like when you lose your friend in a fight, like, girl, someone could be beating Sade's ass. Someone could be fighting Sade, and I wouldn't even know. And I find Sade, and I find the rest of my friends, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? So we was looking for each other for like a good 5 minutes. So this means, between that course of 5 minutes, which 5 minutes of fighting is a long ass time. That is a long ass time to be fighting somebody. So as I'm looking for my friends, I still see Ben on the floor getting beat up, and I'm just like feeling so bad for him. And I know he probably didn't even see me looking at him because I don't know. I don't think he told me he didn't expect me to jump in. Like, yeah, we texted it here, there, and there, but not enough for me to jump into a fight and eat fists for the rest of the week. Like, you know. So as I see him getting beat up on the floor, one of the guys from the group of guys we was just talking to, he has Tim's on, because, you know, which New York man does not have Tim's on? And he goes up to him with the bottom of this big Tim. He goes up to Ben with the bottom of his big thick Tim. And I don't know if he did this out of spite. I don't know if he did this because he wanted to just be a part of it. I don't know if they had beef before, because I never knew they had beef. I don't know if they had beef. He goes up to him and stomps him right in the head. Like, the boot print was probably in his head. Like, it wasn't in the long run, but like, everybody heard it. And if I post the video, which I won't, because girl, I'm not getting guideline community. No. But if you heard the video, everybody heard that, like, in his head. And if it's so many people yelling, you would know. So I'm like, I turn away because I know that that's going to make him pass out. So Ben is laying on the floor, and I'm just like, yo, I cannot do this. So I start getting emotional because, like, I started losing respect slowly for the group of guys who we was just talking to with C, the boy who I liked at the time. I started losing respect for them because it was like, ew, like, why would you involve yourself in something like that? And then why would you jump somebody? And, like, you know, I really just felt so, like, and I had so much respect for that group of friends too, because they really were those friends who were, like, I guess street boys, but, like, they had respect for other people. And I mean, they were very respectful. They never was rude to us or nothing. So I was just like, oh, no, C, I still like you. I ended up liking C in the long run still because, you know. But I was like, oh my God. Like, I started losing respect for them because it's like, damn, how could you do something like that to somebody? Then they take a break and then they threw it at his head too. So I was like, so Ben gets up and like, I'm walking up like behind him because me and my friends start walking because, you know, the cops come and you hear wheel, 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 wheel. And then everybody runs because you don't want to get arrested. So everybody starts running and me and my friends start running down the block that my friend lives at. And we see everybody, we're like looking around and we have seen Ben like walking with his friends and you could tell they were mad. They were on a mission to get somewhere. So, you know, I go home and I just like, I'm looking at the fight videos. I'm looking at everybody fighting and I'm just like feeling so bad. Like I was kind of sick to my stomach, if you know what I mean. Like, you ever see something bad happen to somebody and you really sick to your damn stomach? Like, you're sick to your fucking stomach. Yeah, that's what was happening. So like, see him get beat up like that, I was like, oh my God. But you gotta remember, like, boys who be on the street, they're used to the shit like this. Girl, my suburban ass, I mean, I've lived in the ghetto before, but like not like that. So like my suburban ass, I ain't never really seen nobody get beat up like that. So I was really like, it was in my dreams that night. I remember dreaming about it. I can't tell y'all the dream because, you know, but I remember I was having a dream about it and I kept watching the video feeling ill. So then the next day at school, like, we get to school and Ben walks in and he has like his hoodie on and he's like, he walks straight into school. And I don't know, like, he never really looks like that. He was very put together. He walks into school and he walks in like, literally like this. And his hoodie was on, mind you, he didn't have like hair or nothing. He had very much like a short little buzz, I guess, like with a shape up, I guess. So he walks into school like that and I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh my God. And I didn't really want to say anything to him because again, we was just school friends. We wasn't really like friends like that for me to be like, oh my God, like let me ask him if he's okay. But like we were friends like that for me to ask him if he's okay. But I didn't know if he was gonna spaz at me. Like, you know when you have those friends, you know when you have those friends who you can like tell, who you can like ask because you're just like, if they get mad at you, you can get mad at them back. He wasn't that friend. He was that friend that you gonna ask because you care. But if he's spazzing you still gonna be mad because it's like,
Who the fuck are you talking to?
you know? So I was like, damn, I'm kind of scared. But I ended up asking him. I was one of those girls. You walk up to the boy, you shaking him, you lift up their head, you like, you okay? You okay, Stink? And he's just like mad as hell. Like he was not talking. And like eventually he started like warming up towards the day, but in the beginning he was mad as fuck. Like he wasn't to school, and I'm trying to see his face too because, you know, you try to see his face for shit like that because if you get hit like that, there's no way you're not hurt. Like there's no way you're not injured. So he ends up telling me how he goes to the hospital and how that night that he had got jumped, how his uncle and his father and all of them tried to circle around people's block and so I'm like, oh my God. So he said that at school today he was gonna be low key because, you know, this is a type of retaliation type of thing. So I'm over here like, oh child. So I'm listening to his story, you know, I'm trying to see, and I was looking at his face. The way that there was barely any damage for all those boys to be jumping on him, like, yeah, he had a big ass knot on his head. I could give him that. He had a knot. He definitely had a knot. Like, he was not okay. But, I mean, he could have dealt with the knot and he would have got over it. But he went to the hospital because he passed out or whatever. He ended up being fine, though. And he was saying how he was going to get back at them. So I'm like, oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. So I'm listening to him and he's saying that he's not going to get back at Jay and his friends. He's going to get back at the boys who jumped in. And that was the boys who my friends were talking to when they first started fighting. So I'm like, oh shit. And mind you, my crush was in that friend group. So I was like, oh fuck no. So as we're talking, I literally slip up and I'm like, oh yeah, like I know them. He was like, his eyes lit up like it was fucking 4th of July. He was like, you know them? I'm like, yeah, I know him. Like, fuck. And I didn't say it. This is before he even said nothing about getting him back. So he's like, yeah, did you see who jumped in? Did you see who, like, jumped in? And I'm like, yeah, I seen who jumped in, you know? And blah, blah, blah. He's like, who you seen jumping? I'm like, mind you, I know all the names. I'm like, yeah,
What's his name? What the fuck? The light skin. With the light skin with the tattoos?
Ain't nobody with light skin tattoos jumped in.
Yeah, him. And, what was his name? Jason? Yeah, he jumped in too.
Jason? Who the fuck is Jason? I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember his name. I knew everybody, but you don't want to get involved in stuff like this. So then he's like, yeah, and the boy with the hair. And I'm like,
yeah, I don't know who that is. Like,
so he says one of the boys' names in the group, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know him. He's like, oh, you know him? I'm like, Yeah, I know him. Like, I do. And he's like, yo, you want to do me a favor? I'm like, do you what? What you want me to do? He's like,
We gonna get back at them.
we? This ain't French class, bitch.
Who the fuck is we?
I'm like, get back at who? And he starts going on a whole ass rant about how
We gonna get them back and we circling their block.
and I'm like, no, we not circling back. Mind you, this was literally like weeks before I moved. So I was ready. I was hoping that it elonged out enough for me to leave because I really started feeling the pressure. Like he was really like, we're gonna get them back. Mind you, I knew the boys who my friends was talking to who was trying to get back, but I didn't know them enough to call them up to set them up, girl. If I would have called them like, hey, think, can you pull up to the park today? They would have been like,
Bitch, you fat bitch, why are you calling my phone?
I'd have been like, oh, okay. Sorry, my fault, boss. So I ain't know them enough to help him set him up. Like, it's not like we was besties where if I called them, they come and they would have came in maybe a couple of hours. You would have been gone by then. So I'm like, I'm sorry, Stink. Can't help you. And he really just kept coming every day to school. They don't come to school and be like, nah, we got to get them back. And as he come to school, the knot on his head just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So, I was hoping by the time the knot went away, he would be over it.
No.
He was not over it. So eventually, I was like, yeah, son, like just give it up. Like I don't really know which one of them in the group had beat you up or hit you and stomped in your head with a Tim. I know exactly who did it, but I wasn't gonna say the name because why the fuck would I do that? Like that would have just led back to me and like I would have went to jail. I ended up moving. Literally, but he was on this for such a long time. I ended up moving. So I don't know if he ended up getting them back, but I'm here to tell you, don't get yourself involved. Mind your motherfucking business. Don't check on them. Don't check on them because me trying to check on them, I was about to have to set somebody up, and I don't want to do that because if you set somebody up, you guilty by association, right? You're going to jail. I was not trying to go to jail, and these boys wasn't hood enough to not get caught. They gonna get caught. If you try to kill somebody, you're gonna get caught. Why would you not get caught? So I'm out of my motherfucking business because what the fuck? Like, who does that? I mean, he really was trying to get me to help him set them up. And I was like, bro, if you pop the wrong brother and you pop C, I'm going to be so mad because C is my stink. And he used to see me walking in the hall. Ben used to see me walking in the hall with C sometimes or like walking with C's friends. And I think Ben knew at this point, like, babes, it's not going to happen. So Ben gave it up. But like, imagine if I really would have had to like, you need to mind your business. Don't ever mess with two guys from the different groups or gangs or whatever because baby, you gonna be in the middle, and when you in the middle, it's gonna go like that, and you gonna not know what the fuck smacked you. You gonna be behind bars. You gonna be behind bars. You gonna be looking real like this. Let me out. No, you gonna be behind bars. So don't do it. That was my short little story. I just thought about it and I was like, I should give them a little story time because that was like, I literally just seen him on my split page. I was like, oh my God, like I remember you. Like I seen Ben and I was like, you are so cute still. Oh, and him and the girl broke up and I was so mad because I moved by the time they broke up. But like, he really was cute. And if you see this Ben, hit my line. I'm off of this. Bye, y'all.